Epic Tales. This is an animated film playing in limited release in some theaters. Might be playing near you, might not be. Uh, it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't go watch it, but let's talk about it. So I watched this movie literally just so I could review it for you guys. I tend to do that sometimes, and this is one of those examples. I really had no reason to watch it. And one of the perks of working at a theater is I get free tickets. So a lot of times with some of these movies, hey, I don't want to go watch that movie, but you know what? I get free tickets. So I'll go check it out for you guys. And since I had a Monday off and not really much to do, I went to go see it, and man, this movie was incredibly boring. This movie actually was pretty interesting because I have no idea what studio made this, where it came from, what country it's from. Sometimes we actually do get foreign animated movies like The Jungle Bunch in our theater, which I don't really understand why we get those, but you know, it's always surprising when we do. And then there's sometimes like this one where I just don't know where this movie came from. I'd be curious to look that up, but I also don't care enough. But what's interesting about this movie is when I read the plot, I was kind of interested. Basically, it's about this mouse or rat. I don't think they ever specify in the movie, but goes on this journey with crap. I'm forgetting his name. Jason from Jason the Argonauts, I believe. And you know, a bunch of other animal characters, and they go on a quest to save their home from Poseidon, who's jealous of his bro Zeus, and or I don't know if they're brothers in this movie, but in some mythologies they are, and sometimes they're not. So whatever. But he's jealous of him because you know basically he thinks that this little like Rome, was it Rome? Roman Empire, basically, whatever, Greek gods, whatever, wouldn't really exist without him. And so he's jealous, and so they go on a quest to stop him. Now, from that premise, you sound, wow, that sounds actually kind of cool. It's really not. The thing is, this is the kind of movie where it's just background noise. Now, that's a plus and a good thing, where this is a kids' movie. And so for kids, this movie's colorful enough, animated enough, has enough humor that it's going to be entertaining to them, right? They're gonna watch it and they're gonna go, "Wow, that was entertaining. I had a good time with that." Because they're kids, they don't really know anybody. But when they get older, they're going to get nothing out of this movie other than it just being background noise. And so that's what I mean, where that's a plus and a negative, where anyone that's above the age of like 10 is just going to see this movie as just annoying background noise. Because the characters aren't really interesting. You have the main character is like a generic dreamer character. Of like, oh, I want to go on this big quest. So there's not really a reason for her to go on this quest. See, the thing is, what's weird about this movie is it hits all the familiar beats of character who's a dreamer, who wants to go on a quest, get swept up into an adventure, you know, all this stuff, but it all feels meaningless and not really fleshed out enough and just all executed wrong. Like, it felt like the filmmakers of this movie maybe watched a lot of animated movies and they know all these tropes and they're trying to include them in there, but didn't really know how to do that. The animation itself for this movie is fine. But it's still clearly direct-to-video animation. Has no fucking business being on a movie screen. I don't know. This movie wasn't horrible. There was moments where this movie kind of tried. You know, it did have some cool like monsters and stuff, but at the same time, it wasn't good, and you just didn't watch it. So that's Epic Tales. Also, why the hell is this movie called Epic Tales? It like sounds so generic. But that's kind of the movie. It's kind of a little generic. Not as much as I thought it was going to be, because there are a lot of movies that deal with, like, this kind of mythology and stuff. I guess maybe Disney's Hercules, but, like, not in the same way. But still. So why were there songs in this movie? It's weird how there were songs in this movie and then there weren't. It was kind of one of those, I don't know. I can keep going on about this movie, but really, why should I? It's a nothing movie. Don't watch it.